The protest started at 4 this afternoon, and it was peaceful as different people were talking until about 5:15 when folks started to walk down King Street. That's when police almost immediately appeared right on King Street and told them that they needed to get out of the road.
Summer Hector just got to the scene. Summer, a half dozen fire trucks there.
Rob, good morning. Yeah, at least a half dozen. I actually just saw another one pull in. You could probably see that behind me here. This is at the JW aluminum plant here at the Medical University of South Carolina. The first round of the Pfizer vaccine will be given to select healthcare workers today. The issue is that the timing marks printed on the mail-in ballots were printed too small. Now this caused the electronic readers to have trouble processing these ballots. And now the College of Charleston says they will start random testing in the next 2 weeks. Protesters and counter-protesters marched up and down the Charleston City Market back here behind me earlier today. A new joint order from DHEC and the South Carolina Department of Labor Licensing and Regulation has now expanded the qualified medical professionals who can now give the COVID-19 vaccine. The airport director, Elliot Summey, says the Charleston International Airport is operating at about 68% of its usual travel numbers for this time of year. Construction crews that were up there working had to actually leave to go get more supplies to work at the base of the statue, and they said those were supplies they needed to work with the concrete there. But I'm actually joined by one voter in here. This is Steve Williamson, a Daniel Island resident. But Steve, this is actually your first time voting in person. Can you tell me about that? Now, in order for the settlement to be approved, council has to have a majority vote, which means 4 out of 7 have to agree on it. Michael, good morning. That's right. I got here just before 7 a.m. this morning. Now, when I first got here, smelled a lot of smoke and saw crews actually working at the top of a ladder at the top of this building back here. Kyle, maybe not quite back to normal, but professional tennis is still back in Charleston. Nonetheless, the Credit One Bank Invitational will host 16 professional women's tennis players. This will be the first high school state championships for any sport in South Carolina since the pandemic began. Good morning. I am live here at the Charleston Place Hotel in downtown Charleston with Allison Todd from Bush Wildlife and my new friend Fern. And Allison, can you tell me a little bit about Fern's story?
So Fern actually came to us as an orphan.
MUSC's project leader for their COVID-19 epidemiology intelligence project, Dr. Michael Sweat, says it's much safer to dine and gather outside rather than inside for Thanksgiving this year. This is on Rifle Range Road, just off of the Isle of Palms connector, also about half a mile to a mile before Venning Road, where you can kind of see behind me, crews are working back here. The average daily number of cars that travel along this area of South Carolina Highway 61 is 9,700 vehicles per day. Live in downtown Charleston, live in Monk's Corner, live on Sullivan's Island, live on Daniel Island. I'm live in Dorchester County. I'm live in Somerville. Summer Hector, Live 5 News.